Good morning, everybody. This is Deanna with Food Bank Beautiful, and it is Friday. Happy Friday to you guys. It is the 28th. So, for those of you who know me, you know that today, chances are I went to the well. For those of you who are relatively new, generally I have this channel that relates to going to the food bank. And generally what I do is I go to the food bank, I pick out whatever my family needs, I come home, I do a haul, and then during the week I generally show you how I use that food or how I preserve it to use a little bit later down the line. Now, there are several food banks that I go to. One is on Tuesdays, and it is a senior food bank. One is every other Wednesday in my little town, and that's the one that I love the most, although the senior one is fantastic. And then they have on Fridays, the little one that's in town every other Wednesday, has what they call a mini distribution on Friday, and often it's bread and produce, things that they don't think will hold until the next food bank. Now, I say every other Wednesday. It's actually every Wednesday, but two are right in, downtown, and one is kind of out of town a ways, and the parking is really bad, and I don't like to go to that one. I just find that it's not worth my stress level because you have to park on a big trucking road, and then you have to carry what you receive to your car, and that can be a very long haul. So I don't enjoy that. I think I went 2 or 3, maybe 4 times total last fall, and I just didn't want to do it. So the Wednesday one is my favorite. The senior one on Tuesdays is lovely, but right now I am pretty stocked up, and so I am choosing not to go to the food bank for a few weeks because one of my food banks, the one that's here in town, is very generous. So I end up often with a lot more than I can use in a week. And so I preserve it, I can it, I freeze it, I, do all sorts of fabulous things. And I find that right now I am stocked. We have chicken, so I have my own eggs. I have sufficient cheese. I have, right now I'm loaded with heavy cream. My Eastern European peasant, potato picking hips are just going from this to like this, right? Okay. So I'm enjoying some heavy cream. As far as bread goes, I have some frozen bread in the freezer, and so I just don't need bread. As far as meat goes, I have chicken that I canned when they gave it to me in abundance, so I have canned chicken right now. I have some canned hamburger. The hamburger is what I purchased way back in February, and then I canned it, and then I also got additional hamburger from the food bank and canned it. So I don't need anything like that. I do go sometimes for bread and produce on the mini distribution, but I just don't need anything today, so I will not be going. Now, even though I'm not going, if you're new here, I want you to know that this is a channel that is designed to be a virtual support for you, okay? A lot of people still have a little bit of shyness or stigma about going to the food bank, and I do not want that person to be you, all right? So if you need to go to the food bank, I want you to go. I want you to go. You are the only person that gets to make that decision about if it's right for you or not, and after that, it does not matter what anybody else thinks. And if somebody says something stinky to you, shame on them. Okay, let's just call it out. Shame on them, not on you. Now, my food banks do not have any real significant financial requirements. That varies from town to town, city to city, county to county, and it might even vary statewide. So you've got to check and see in advance what your food bank offers. I think that you will be surprised. In my community, there are food banks available every single day within a 20-mile radius. Now, 20 miles is too far for me, but it might not be for everybody. And I am so fortunate that my local food bank is fantastic. I love them. Did I say that already? Is that a heart? I love them. But, you know, I think there might be bigger and better ones. It doesn't matter to me. I'm happy with where I go. There are food banks that you can drive through if you don't want to get out of the car. Sometimes you can call ahead. They'll pack you up a box. Sometimes they have the shopping ones. So there's lots of variety out there. The most important thing is if you feel like you need to go, you go. And it does not matter what anybody else thinks. And if you go for the first time as a result of watching food bank hauls on YouTube, whether they're mine or whether they're somebody else's, it does not matter. But if you do go for the first time, irregardless of who encouraged you to go, I would love for you to write it in the comments because I would love to give you a shout out. Okay? Now, for my regulars, you know that I probably went to the well this morning. For those of you who are new, the well is not a food bank. It is a food distribution. It's run at a little local church in Lake Stevens called The Well. And I don't know the exact mechanics of it, but for a donation, you can go and pick out all kinds of things. You can go back through my videos and anything that has the well on it, you will see what I'm talking about. Generally, when I go, I get carrots and apples. A lot of times there are other things. Last week I got cases of lemons. Sometimes there's, cookies. Sometimes there's milk or cream or, whatever. So I got fish sticks one time. 3 glorious bags of fish sticks, which we're eating, and they were lovely. So I always make a donation, and I go on Fridays. Now, if you don't have the pocket money for a donation, they don't require it, okay? For those who can donate, donate. For those who can't, you are still welcome to go. If you live in this area, you can Google The Well. You can get an address for it, and it is Friday mornings at 9 to 11. And I talked to one of the ladies today, and she said that whatever they can't give away at the end of the day, she used the word waste. It goes to waste. And so I asked her if it goes to like farm animals, and I couldn't quite understand her response, so I don't know if that's the case or not. I feel good about going there, giving a donation, and then bringing home what my family can use. And so what I brought home today is out on the deck, so I filmed that already. I'll add the little clippy here. And then when I come back, because I need some coffee and some juice, let's talk about what I have to do now to preserve that food. I may have bitten off way more than I can do. Yeah, I'm a little scared. You should be scared for me. We're going to do it together. Sink or swim, babe. We're on the Titanic together, but I will save you a seat on my lifeboat, okay? Actually, it has to be the other way around. You save me a seat on your lifeboat. All right, I need to get Grandma some coffee. I took care of her very early this morning so I could go and do what I needed to do, and then she popped herself back into bed. But now she's awake, waiting for a cup of coffee and some breakfast. I need to sit down and drink something. I'm like dehydrated. I had to take off a couple layers of clothes. That is why the camera is not, down here in no man's land. Because I'm hot. I had to carry everything to my car, and it was a little bit of a hike today. So you'll see what I got, and then just picture my plumpy, I'm a little heavier than plumpy, my rotund, gorgeous, Rubenesque, beauty queen, no upper body strength girl hauling that stuff to the car. And what's sad is another car pulled in beside me so tight that I couldn't get out. I had to crawl over to the passenger seat and get out, and then I couldn't reach my thing to open the trunk. So it was a little bit colorful. Those of you who watched me last week know I complained about some unnice people, but today there was none of that. So, you're going to find people that are unnice in every walk of life, everywhere that you go. Just deal with it and get on about your business. Okay, I have rambled for 11 minutes. So if you want to skip all the rambling, I will put a note in the front that says go to 11.3 to skip the rambling. But you might miss out on some stinking dishing around. That's all I'm saying, people. I might be talking smack about somebody. No, I'm not. I don't even have anybody in the comments to be smacky about. I've only been able to do 3 real episodes of, if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. And then when I warn people ahead of time, hey, if you're thinking about being not nice, you watch those videos and then you decide if you want me to address it in episode 4. Nobody wants to. So I thank you. Those of you who thought about it and decided not, I'm not being sarcastic. Good job. Good job. Right? YouTube is for fun. If you can't watch for fun and leave your naughty comments to yourself, go do something else. All right, I'm going to have to say for 12.3. All right, ta-ta. Okay, it is 9:45, and I have returned from the well, and I'm going to have to show you from outside what I got because it's quite substantial today. So first of all, there are 2 50-pound bag of carrots here, and then there's one over there. Now I'm going to keep one, and our friend is going to take one, and I'm debating about which one of us is going to keep that bag. I kind of have in my mind to juice these carrots, put the juice in freezer bags, and toss them into the freezer for the days that I don't want to physically make juice in the morning. So we will see. Now, behind the juice, there are 3 cases of apples, and you can't see them here, but there's a case of kind of these red and yellow ones, and they're not, they're not pristine, but they're not bad. They're firm. They'll make great juice. There is a case of green apples right there. That's the case that I'm going to keep. And then there's another case on the bottom of the same kind of apples that are right there. So I'm going to keep the case of green, and I'm going to give a case of the apples to our friend, and then I might, again, it's up in the air, I might keep that case of apples and make apple pie filling out of the green ones and juice these 2 boxes of red apples. Or I'm happy to give that second box to our friend Ghanem. Now, when I got up this morning, what I was really hoping for in this order was carrots, apples, cucumbers, strawberries, blueberries. We never get everything we want, and that's okay. If we even get one thing on that list, that's okay. And even if we get nothing on the list, we get something else and we're still happy. So I got carrots and apples, and I am thrilled. I was also able to pick up a case of chocolate milk. All the dates are good. They're into the end of June and early July. These are not for us. I thought our friends' little daughters would enjoy that. So that's going to be for them. And then the last thing I got is over here. You can see some green onions. And somewhere in that green onions is one lonely little jalapeno. Where did you go, little jalapeno? We don't know. Well, I don't know where it went. Okay, so some green onions. And then a box of tomatillas. Now, I have never... I'm going to put my phone down for a second. Sorry. So, for those of you who don't know, tomatillas come in like a paper wrapping, and you just pick that off. It's sticky, so your hands are going to get sticky. And then you have this green vegetable or fruit. I'm not sure what it is. I don't know if it's in the tomato family or not. That's Patty and his girls. Oh, yeah. Sounds like the hens are laying eggs, lazy bums. Oh, well, you'll have to listen through it. I am going to try to can some Salsa Verde. And I have 2 crates of those. What the front door was I thinking? So I'm going to sit down. I'm going to get Grandma up and get her some coffee and some breakfast. Then I'm going to look at recipes about these tomatillos. And then we're going to see what we can do. Now, if Ghanem and his family want a case of the tomatillas, they can have them, but I don't know if he will or not. Okay, I have had a cup of coffee. I went out in my yard and discovered that I had a great big canner with a lid, which is great because I've been wanting one, but I haven't wanted to buy one. And I told my husband that I needed one, and then he said, I think there's one on the side yard. So it was a dirty, cobwebby mess, and I have cleaned that up, and I'm going to use it to can some things that I'm going to do. Now, I have a ton of food to process. I have a bunch of carrots. I have a bunch of apples. I have a bunch of tomatillos, and I want to make Salsa Verde. So I needed to do a grocery order, and I went ahead and did my order for what I needed to make the Salsa Verde, and I am going to cook 1 or 2 meals today because I know that I am not going to want to cook for the next few days. I'm going to be up to my with processing food, which I love to do. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy myself, but it is a lot of work, people. It's a lot of work. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to make some chicken tortilla soup and get that started because tonight around 4 o'clock when everybody's hungry, I don't want to cook. So let me get out the ingredients for that. I'm just going to do it in the crock pot and set it somewhere out of my way. And then I'm going to start roasting the tomatillos, and I'm going to make for the first time in my life, Salsa Verde. We'll see how it goes. Ooh, a little bit scared. We'll see. I'm not scared. It should be fine. It's not rocket science. Okay, and I'm going to bring you along for that because that is something that I have never done before, and maybe you guys have done it, maybe you haven't. If you have, you can always leave me comments about what might have been easier or better or how yours turned out or, you know, all that good stuff. So let me get out all of my ingredients to make the chicken tortilla soup, and I kind of want to make a beef chili too. I think I will. And then I've got some baked potatoes left. And so I like to eat chili on top of baked potatoes. So if I have chicken tortilla soup and a beef chili and I make a green salad, then we will have everything we need to eat for the week. And I say, baby, let's go for it. Why wouldn't I do that? I will try to keep the camera above here. I don't know what is on my hand. I tried to wipe it off. I think it's some marker, and it won't come off. So, alas, I got better things to do. I highly doubt, I might put a different shirt on, an old scrappy shirt that I don't care about to can and whatnot in. But let's get that chicken chili made. All right, let's at least get it in the crock pot and call it good. I'm laughing because I just took Fluffy in to spend some time with Grandma, and I can hear them. I don't know if you guys can hear them, but I can hear Grandma talking to Fluffy, and it is a riot. Now, I am going to make chicken taco soup, and I never have a recipe for this. I just throw stuff in. So let's talk about what I am going to use. When the soup is finished, I will add a tablespoon or two, maybe to each bowl, right, for people who want it. This is a food bank item. This is the rotisserie. I said it wrong last time too. Rotisserie chicken, and this one is lemon pepper, but it's delicious. I'm going to throw that in the soup. Then I have a partial bag of green peppers. This was from the well about a month ago. You will remember that it took me all day to chop those bad boys, right? This is onions that I also got from the well, and you will remember that it took me days to chop these bad boys. Then we have 2 packages, 1.5 packages of taco seasoning. Of course, that's mine. We have turkey broth. This turkey was a food bank item, and this broth is what I made from its little happy carcass. I have a quart of black beans. Those were a food bank item. I canned them up, and as you can see, I am using them today. I do use what I can. And then I have a glorious, this is that beautiful one that we just made. And I know that I should, take something older, but I want to use this. So we're going to use it if needed today. I also have a jar of, this is not what I wanted. This is sweet and sour sauce. Somewhere I have one of those little bouillon things, chicken flavored, and I'll be using some of that. And then I have a can of tomato sauce, which is also a food bank item. So most everything is food bank. Just looking at it right now, the lime juice, the taco seasoning, and the, my mind is blank. The chicken flavoring, that will be mine. I had to buy avocados last week, so these are my avocados. We'll be putting that on top of the soup. I have shredded cheese. That'll be food bank. I'll be using that later when I serve it up. And I have some sour cream, and the sour cream is mine. So let me bring you down. Let me grab a can opener, because I know that I'm going to be too tired at 4 o'clock to make dinner for the family. And I am the one who usually prepares the meals for everybody. I'm turning the light on. Sorry, my nose was right there in your business. All right, here we go. You ready? All right, you are going to be in the kitchen with me all day. So I went and just added one more little layer so I wouldn't have to worry about what was below my chin. Okay, let's take a look at this. Crock pot is right here. And we're just going to put this bad boy on low because all of this food that I'm throwing in here is cooked, except for the peppers and the onions. And so we're just going to call it good. So we are going to start with, can you guys see that okay? We are going to start with our lemon rotisserie chicken. I'm just going to pop that in there. to that, we're going to add a can of tomato sauce. We are going to add I really want to use this chicken stock that I made, to tell you the truth. So we're going to add that gorgeous brown chicken stock. Look at that. That's the one I pressure cooked for like 6 hours. There's that. We're going to throw in a half a bag of onions. I think I need more than that. Pop these back into my freezer and use the other half for another meal later this week. We're going to go ahead and use this half, the whole thing. Oh, wait, this is celery. I don't want that. Okay, let me come back to you because I want to rinse my black beans. Okay, so I went to open that first can of black beans and the lid came off without any pressure. So I disposed of that jar. I was not paying attention when I opened it, so I don't know how that seal was. And when in doubt, I am not going to poison my entire family over a can of black beans. So I pitched that one. And I went and got another can, and the seal was definitely tight, solid, nice pop on that when I opened it, which wasn't on the other can of beans. And we just don't play that game, and you shouldn't either. But it's your kitchen. You guys do what you want, right? Okay, so here are my black beans. I rinsed them until the water ran clear, but I am not going to put that in this pot because they're already cooked, and I don't want them to be mushy in the soup. So let's add the remaining ingredients, which I think is just the taco seasoning. Oh, come on. Okay, I needed to adjust that a little bit. We're going to add the bell peppers, and I think just half a bag. I don't need a ton in there. We're just going to go ahead and use the green ones today. I prefer the red, yellow, and orange, and I have red, yellow, and orange, but I need to work my way through those green ones. Now, we're going to add, I think it'll take this whole packet, or the packet and a half, but we'll check it and see. And I'm going to go ahead and add this turkey broth. So we are going to use 2 quarts of broth today. 1 of my chicken bone and 1 of this turkey broth. There we go. Okay. Okay, now on my grocery list, I have sour cream. I have white corn tortillas, flour tortillas, and I have some tortilla chips for the top of this soup. So, and that order's coming, and I think my total came to $34.14. Like I said, I have a $35, give or take, grocery budget weekly. In fact, I might share that with you guys this week. We'll see. Okay, so there it is. Chicken. Everything is in there except the beans. Now, I also ordered some corn. I will be throwing beans and corn in that right before I serve it, a half hour before I'm serving it. I'm going to go grab a can of my canned chicken because I want this to be a little bit substantial. Actually, I found this. This is a food bank item. We're going to use this. Either one would have been fine, but this was right down here underneath the counter, so that's what we're going to use. It'll be perfect in here. Let's see if I think that's enough chicken. Okay. All right. That is it. Now, I'm going to do my dishes. While I film today, there is going to be background noise. I cannot do all the things that I need to do and not have my dishwasher running. So you're going to hear that. Sometimes you're going to hear my husband come in and out. You might hear the guys upstairs. Grandma and Fluffy could have an emergency. We don't know. Now, I put my oven on 500 degrees, and as soon as I get this cleaned off and my dishes in the dishwasher, we're going to roast those tomatillas. I'm going to try to get that started while I wait for my order from Walmart to come. Okay, I tasted the broth. It is cold, but I needed to check and see what it needed. It's going to get a scoop of this Better Than Bouillon chicken. Just needs a tiny little bit. And we are going to go ahead and add another half packet of taco seasoning. I can always add more, so we're going to start with just the half. Okay, I added that. You guys can see it right there. Now, Addie and I like our food very spicy, but Grandma's also eating with us, and she doesn't like as much spice. So Addie and I can add, chili flakes or whatever we want to ours when it's done. But the communal pot, we don't want too spicy. Now, I'm going to check that again and see if I want to add any more tomato sauce or some tomato paste. Here we go. I'm going to add the other half of the seasoning. There, I just dumped it in. And if I have some tomato paste, I will want to add that. I am taking a peek, and I don't see any. Oh, don't see any. Okay, well, okay, we are going to add a little bit more tomato sauce. Here we go. Oh, I guess this is diced tomatoes. Oh, well. Everything's good. Okay, I tasted the broth. It is cold, but I needed to check and see what it needed. It's going to get a scoop of this Better Than Bouillon chicken. Just needs a tiny little bit. And we are going to go ahead and add another half packet of taco seasoning. I can always add more, so we're going to start with just the half. Okay, I added that. You guys can see it right there. Now, Addie and I like our food very spicy, but Grandma's also eating with us, and she doesn't like as much spice. So Addie and I can add, chili flakes or whatever we want to ours when it's done. But the communal pot, we don't want too spicy. Now, I'm going to check that again and see if I want to add any more tomato sauce or some tomato paste. Here we go. I'm going to add the other half of the seasoning. There, I just dumped it in. And if I have some tomato paste, I will want to add that. I am taking a peek, and I don't see any. Oh, don't see any. Okay, well, okay, we're going to add a little bit more tomato sauce. Here Here we go. Oh, I guess this is diced tomatoes. Oh, well. Everything's good. I'm smiling because this is my third take because I never remember to turn on the video. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take about 3 pounds of tomatillas and we're going to take them out of their paper and roast them. I can do that right now, so let's go ahead and do that. Let me bring you down. This is what they look like. They've got this little paper over them. You just kind of peel that off, and it's sticky. So you're going to want to wash your hands when you're done, and the fruit. I have never, ever cooked with tomatillas before, ever. So that one's bad. There we go. So you get the idea. I'll come back after I have peeled these and washed them, and then we'll slice them up and get them ready to roast. And I have so many tomatillas that for today, I'm not going to try to piece and use every last little tiny scrap. I have 2 cases out there, so we'll see what kind of condition these are in. Okay, so I have a different knife, and I'm just going to quarter them and roast them. And, you know, you guys, we're in this together. I have never done this. I don't even know, really. I've had Salsa Verde in different restaurants, and I've liked it. So I'm thinking that I will like it. But I want to try one batch before I decide to can more. We'll see. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and chop these up, and then I'll bring you back. Okay, let's look down here. Here are the tomatillos. The recipe said to hold a quarter of the tomatillos out and not roast them, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to roast them all. You guys, if you follow that recipe, you do what you want to do. And I'm going to check these at about the 10-minute and the 15-minute mark and see how they're doing. All right? So I will come back to you when that is done. Is it really my channel if we don't have gratuitous shots of the chickens? This is Fluffy. I just pulled her out of Grandma's room. I'm about to take her back outside. They had quite the playtime, but Grandma's ready for nap. So, Fluffy, are you ready to go back outside? Oh, she's so cute. She's so cute. Am I wrong? She's like a little gargoyle, though. If you don't hold her wings down, she'll put her wings out, and then she looks like a gargoyle. Okay, I will be washing my hands and the counter, even though she didn't touch it. Her butt was over it. So we'll be doing that when I come back. Okay, we are now ready to get our Salsa Verde ready to be cooked. So the recipe calls for 1 cup of, now they're using fresh, but I don't have fresh. Frozen's going to be perfectly fine. 1 cup of bell peppers, right there. I'm also adding in 1 jalapeno. And then I'm going to add a cup of onion. And the recipe wants me to blend this and blend that and then add this and then add that. It's all blended. So I'm not going to do it. Mama doesn't play that game. Here are my tomatillos. I'm going to throw those in there. Perfect. We're going to add some garlic. And it's calling for 6 cloves of garlic. You know that I don't like to peel and deal with garlic. So here it is. We're going to add about six, is it saying 6 cloves? All right, so maybe about that much should be good. And cumin and paprika. All right, cumin and paprika. How much cumin? 2.5 teaspoons. Oh, that's way more than 2.5. All right, 2.5. And paprika is 3/4 cup. I mean, 3/4 not 3/4 cup. That will not be good. 3/4 teaspoon. So almost a teaspoon. Let's not do that over that. There we go. And 1.5 teaspoons of kosher salt. I don't have kosher salt, but I am going to use canning salt. So let me go grab that. Okay, we have everything but 1/2 cup of lime juice. I'm going to go ahead and add that. And we are good to go. So let me blend this up, and then we put it on the stove and we cook it for, I think, 15 minutes. And then I can. So while this is on the stove, I'll get my jars and everything ready. Okay, let's go ahead and blend this. My dishwasher's on. I don't know if I can get that to hold for you. Maybe right there. Maybe right there. Okay, here we go. Okay, it's as easy as that. Now, it's going to go in the saucepan and simmer for 15 minutes. Let me make sure I read that right. All right, so you actually put it on the stove, you bring it to a boil, then you reduce it to a simmer and you simmer it for 15 minutes. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, the recipe says that the tomatillos are very citrusy in nature, and not to be tempted to taste your recipe before it has sat after you've canned it for at least 2 days, but I am not able to do that. They say that the flavors will blend a little bit and the acidity will reduce, but I want to know what we're talking about here. All right, so I'm just going to taste it a little bit. Wow. I like it as is, so I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, I have a pan over on the stove. So I'm going to go ahead and get this started, and then I'm going to clean off this counter, and I'm going to get my jars ready. And I might need to not do this until I get my jars started, because they haven't been sterilized. Shame on me. Deanna, can you can without sterilizing your jars? No. No, 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 no. The USDA police will hunt you down. Okay? And they'll probably find you in the emergency room. Food poisoning. I don't know. For me, no. You must sterilize your jars. I think that's a pretty standard operation. So my jars are clean. I just need to put them in boiling water for a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'll be back. Okay. So on the stove behind me, my salsa verde is cooking for 20 minutes. And my jars are in the big pot. They're in boiling water, so they'll be nice and sterilized. My lids are in boiling water right here. They're good to go. And when I finish canning, or at least when I put them in the canner, I'm going to start another batch. Only I'm going to triple it, and I'm going to make another full ×3 Salsa Verde. I think it's delicious. And even though it said, oh, you know, don't taste it ahead of time, it'll be too acidic and la-di-la-di-la, it was good. So I'm not at all worried about that. It was lovely. I have enough of everything to make another triple batch. Ghanem is here visiting with my husband, and he did decide to go ahead and take one of the cases of tomatillos, which is a good thing. Because 2 full cases would have put me in Salsa Verde till the second coming of, right? Yeah. Okay, my soup, I decided to take the lid off and just let it kind of cook down and get all yummy. I think it's doing great. I have 2 loads of clothes to fold on my bed. I have some groceries to put away. And the dishwasher, I might need to empty the dishwasher. I've got a couple of dishes to do, but beyond that, we're doing okay, people. Okay, my salsa verde is done simmering, and now we're going to go ahead and can our jars. So, of course, I have little paper towels. I have my vinegar. I have my strainer, or not my strainer, but my funnel, and my salsa verde. So let's go ahead and get this done. I'm going to go ahead and bring you down right about there. Now it says it makes 5 half pints, but I can tell you right now, if I get 3 out of here this, I'll be pretty surprised. Okay, this is a 1/2 inch. Okay, that looks good. Okay, yeah, if I get 3 out of this, it'll be okay. Looks like we got 3 half pints. So let me go ahead and clean up those edges. Vinegar. And I want to make sure I don't have air bubbles in this. lids are hot. Check around. Okay. So there's one. Here is two. There's the second one. And here is the third one. I'm going to go ahead and add these back into my boiling water, and they'll process for 15 minutes. All right, I'll bring you back when I pull them out. Okay, my friends, it is 5:42 in the afternoon, and I am in love with my Verde salsa. Love it, love it, love it, love it. So right now I have 3 half pints of Verde salsa, and this one has cilantro in it. Now I am making a triple batch with no cilantro, and it's doing its, how much time does it have? It has 7 minutes left, and then I can can it. So it tastes to me so good. I took a cup of it and toss it into my taco soup. That is the best taco soup I think I have ever made. I'm starving. Every time you see me, I say I'm starving. My plumpy little figure would say that I've probably never starved, and that would be true. So I just wanted to let you know that I am now going to can additional Salsa Verde. I went through an entire case of the tomatillos. There were a number of tomatillos that were moldy and not good. So I sorted through all of that. And then Addie's friend was here. So I gave him a bite of my salsa before I canned it and said, this is what you can do with it. And he took home the other case, which is a good thing because, you know, we're a family of 3. 2 cases of tomatillos is a lot. I'm very happy with myself. But then again, I am easily amused. Now, I'm going to step away from the camera. I'll keep you right there. Got to stir this. This is the timer up here, 6 more minutes. Okay. All right, I don't want any burned bottoms because that was a lot of work, people. Anyway, I just wanted to let you know your girl has been canning Verde salsa all day. I got sterilized jars in my canner. I've got a few extra jars over here. I have a container of sterilized rims and lids, and I'm going to do it, people. We are going to do it. All right. Before I go to bed, I'll make a little clip of all of my jars because it's so fun to look at something, right? Now, tomorrow, the well is open on Saturdays, and I have thought about going, but I have never gone because it starts an hour earlier, which means to get a parking space, I have to leave my house at 6, maybe even earlier. Stay right there. Don't go anywhere. Okay. But they have all different products. Now, if all they have is carrot and apples, I don't need carrot and apples. But if they have something else that I can or process, you bet I will take it and go for it. If I end up not going to the well, my job tomorrow is to take care of at least 1 bag of carrots, which means wash, scrub, chop, bag, and put away. And that's a lot. That is a big, heavy day. The apples I think can hold, but I will be addressing those every day and seeing what I can do. I kind of want to make apple pie filling. I would love to have that on my shelves. We're coming up in July, August, September, October. In 90 days, we hit the fall, and apple filling would be so yummy for crisps and pies, and my husband loves it. So I might do that. We'll see. Don't hold me to anything. I'm a hot mess, people. I am a hot mess. And I kept my shirt on for you all day. Rather than just the undergarment that is not really an undergarment, but, you know, it's my house, and if I want to run around like that, I will. So, but not for you guys. You don't deserve to see that trauma, right? You deserve better, people. You deserve better. Okay, I'm gonna take care of that. All right, ta-ta. Hello, my friends. It is 6:27 and your girl is alive and breathing. Indeed. I want to show you my soup, okay? So I made this gorgeous chicken taco soup. I don't have a recipe. I just threw in what I wanted until it tasted beautiful. Here it is. I'm going to bring you down. This is my soup. And I'm going to taste it for you, and then we're going to take it from good to better to best, okay? Restaurant quality, my friends. At home. Here's my spoon. Okay, so I'm just going to take a bite. I don't want to take a big bite because I don't want to be smacking on camera. Here is my soup, and let's taste it. Mmm. Oh my God, that is so good. When it was done and I added the beans and the corn and I was canning my Salsa Verde, I put a cup of my Salsa Verde in this soup, and it is drop dead yummy. Drop dead yummy. Can you hear Grandma? Grandma, do you like your soup?
It is sheer heaven.
It is.
I've never tasted anything so good.
She said, and I quote, "It is sheer heaven, and I've never tasted anything so good." 2 years ago, when Grandma came to live with me, she announced to me gently that she didn't like soup. And I said, well, that's okay, darling, but I make soup all the time. So if you don't want soup on the night I make it, I will make you cheese toast or peanut butter and jelly. Those are going to be your only choices. I'm not gonna cater, okay? So I fed her soup all winter, and every time she ate it, she said, I don't like soup, but I love this. This is not really a soup. I don't know what it is, but it is yummy. I can hear her in there. She's having a great time. My honey bunny is sitting right there. He is unlikely to comment on camera. He likes to be left alone. So I'm going to leave him alone, but he is eating a big, gorgeous bowl. Now, this soup, on a scale of 1 to 10, is a 10. This is what we're going to do. Oh, Grandma said, no, it isn't. It's 15 or 20. That's my 50%, babe. Thank you. I never get my 50%. No matter what we're talking about, or if there's a decision to be made or something, she will take Addie's side every time. So I always tell her I want my 50%. Let's get back to this. So this is my soup that is a 10. Now, we're going to make it restaurant quality. We're going to add a great big chunk of avocado. I know, it's a lot of fat and whatever, but we're going to do it. There's that. Then we're going to add, I got some of this at Costco. This, I call it bitchy sauce. I don't know what you guys call it. I guess it is called bitching sauce. We call it bitchy sauce. And I mixed it with some sour cream, and it's got that beautiful smoky chipotle flavor. And we're going to put a nice dollop right in the center, just like that. And then I have some gorgeous cheese, and we're going to put it there and there. That's looking good, right? And then we're going to take some Fritos, and we're going to put our Fritos on the side. Now, I want to know in the comments, seriously, what you guys think about that. If we went to the Mexican restaurant in our town and they have delicious food, their soup would not be better than mine. Oh, I forgot something. Son of a biscuit. Son of a biscuit, YouTube. Son of a biscuit. Don't edit me out. I'm not monetized, so theoretically, I think I can use any word I want. I'm going to add some cowboy candy. I meant to do that, and I forgot. 2 big spoons of cowboy candy. And there it is, my loves, right there. All right, let's take a bite of this bad boy. And I think there will be smacking. So if there's smacking, I'm going to lift my canning lid. I apologize. And that has 3 more minutes. I made 10 pints of Salsa Verde and 1.5 half pints. Okay, here we go. You ready? You want to see it? I would so share with you guys. I would feed you. Look at that. Okay, so I'm going to take a bite with the bitchy sauce, the soup, and it looks like that's what I got on this little itty bitty spoon. Here we go. Mmm. 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 Wow. That is so good. Okay, let's take a bite with the Frito. I got some bitchy sauce, a Frito, some avocado, and the soup. Are you ready? It's going to be sloppy, I'm sorry. I'm just not a dainty little girl. I never went to finishing school or anything. Here we go. You ready? Mmm. I don't think I've been this happy with myself for a while. I'm so happy that I made this soup before I did anything else because I knew if I got done canning, I would not be able to cook. Now, we have some things. We have some frozen meals in the freezer that were leftovers of other meals. We have, I think there's a couple cans of soup down here for Grandma. Addie and I don't eat store-bought canned soup. And there's corn dogs in the freezer, and I think there's a cheese pizza. Or there's this. That is so good, you guys. Okay, I'm going to put my bowl aside because now I need to pull my jars out of the water. And I'll bring you back tonight when they're all nice and cool and you can see what your girl did. Your girl made salsa verde from a box she got at the well. Never touched a tomatillo before today. So here's the thing, my lovelies. If I can do it, babes, you can do it. Okay? You can do it. I have faith in you. You guys are awesome. All right, that's enough. Okay? I'm not going to butter you up anymore. Feel free to butter me up in the comments. I'm joking. But we made butter yesterday, too. We're on a roll. Okay, ta-ta, my lovelies, till tonight. All right, Grandma, do I have permission?
Yep.
How do you feel about your dinner tonight?
I loved it.
You loved it. What was the best part?
The soup.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you like the Fritos and the avocado and the cheese in it?
Whatever was in it, I loved it.
You loved it. All right. Well, I see Walter back there. He's not your only friend today, is he?
No.
Who else was in here today?
I had a lovely back chicken.
Fluffy came and stayed about, what, a half hour, 45 minutes?
Oh, yeah.
She ate a little chicken on Grandma's bed, and then some seeds, and then her and Grandma cuddled. And I came back about, I'd say 45 minutes.
Oh, at least.
And then took her back out to play. So and what are you drinking today? Are you drinking water since all I feed you is bread and water?
No, I'm drinking orange pop.
Orange Fanta.
Yum, yum.
My precious loves her orange Fanta. All right, Grandma, say ta-ta to your friends.
Ah, ta-ta.
Ta-ta, my lovelies.
Ta-ta.
Ta-ta. Okay, my friends, I am pooped. This is my soup. It's getting ready to go into the refrigerator. It is about 8:30 at night. That will feed us for 2 more days. And then over here, you can see my Salsa Verde. How hot is it? Oh, it's warm. It's not too bad. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I gotta tell you, I am so happy with how my stuff turned out. It's not even funny. But I'm pooped. So I've got to run out and get my eggs. I forgot to get my eggs. And then I'm going to sit down, and it is what it is. The 2 loads of laundry that have been sitting on my bed for a day and a half are going to spend the night on the end of my bed tonight. And that's just the way it is. I'm pooped. I have a few dishes left in the sink. But I'm tired. Dishwasher's loaded. It's washed. It just needs to be unloaded. But got one of those lids. Oh, there we go. That's just more than I can do tonight. So, you guys, it was so fun today to spend this day with you, to see what we could do with the tomatillas. I think we did awesome. I hope you guys are doing awesome things in your kitchen with the things that you have, maybe things that you purchased, maybe things that you got at the food bank, maybe things you got at something like what I go to. Leave me notes in the comments. I always want to love to hear how you guys are doing. Okay, I'm going to post this tonight because if I add to this, it's going to be forever long. I think this is going to run an hour anyway. But that hour encompassed, what, 8 hours of my day? All right. Ta-ta. Good morning, everybody. This is Deanna with Food Bank Beautiful with some funky hair this morning. It is Saturday, June 29th, and it is about 10 o'clock, give or take. And today I have a lot of work to do. Have at least 2 loads of laundry that have been sitting at the foot of my bed for like 3 days that need to be folded. I have, my kitchen's pretty clean actually. Having company on Tuesday, overnight company on Tuesday, so I need to get my house in order. And I also have 100 pounds of carrots to process and store, and I have 2 boxes of apples. So this morning I thought that I would take some time and just start preparing juice and going ahead and freezing some so that it doesn't go bad. Now that's not exciting. I probably will not bring you along for that. I will just show you the finished project. I have soup and leftovers in the refrigerator, so I'm not going to cook, but if anything exciting happens, I will bring you along, okay? I got little strings on this that I can't pull off. Oh well. All right, so I'm going to start juicing this morning, and we'll see how the day goes, okay? All right. Okay, this is where we're at. It is 7:35 at night. It's quite a mess going on here. I am juicing a bunch of the carrot juice to stick in the freezer because I just don't have enough room for all the bags of carrots. So you can see me working here. There's the uglies. sink full of carrots. They soak in here, then I rinse them, and then I cut them. Here's the bag. I'm halfway through a 50-pound bag, give or take. So this is quite the job. This is a lot of work. Got a cut bag there. It's pretty intense.
Okay.
Okay, Grandma, do I have permission?
Oh, yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you this
I'm
morning?
doing just very well.
And of course, Fluffy's in here.
She's helping.
She's been in here for 2 hours this morning.
Yeah, she's a good bird.
She's just hanging out. She's got her food and water.
Oh, look
She
at her.
had
She's so
part of
cute.
Grandma's cinnamon roll this morning.
It's a good day for that chicken.
She loves to come in and spend time with Grandma. Let's get a close up because she's so cute.
She's
Hi, Fluffy.
adorable.
Hello, Fluffy. Fluffy, you're so cute.
You can
Let's look
talk
at Grandma.
to her and she talks
Grandma's
back.
so cute.
It's so precious.
All right, I just wanted everybody to see how you're suffering and how you live in a dungeon. And
Oh, and all that good stuff with a precious chicken.
okay, people, let's take a look at Grandma's room and see if it's maintaining. There's Walter. Hi, Walter.
Oh, dear Walter.
Walter. Okay, so Grandma's bed is tidy. She's finishing up her cinnamon roll. Did you drink all your protein drink for me?
Yes, I
Nice.
did.
Thank you. Okay, we just didn't get enough protein in the last day or two, so that's good. So you can see that Grandma's room is staying nice and clean. Once we get it organized and I got things put away, I empty that garbage almost every day, so don't worry too much about that. Once I got it organized and clean, it's easy to stay clean, but boy, getting it to that point was so hard. Okay, don't let our closet's a mess, but we're not going to show that this morning. Okay, I just wanted you guys to see Grandma. She's just looking so good, and so is Fluffy.
Good.
All right, you want to say ta-ta, Grandma?
Ta-ta.
Ta-ta! Good afternoon, everybody. This is Deanna with Food Bank Beautiful. It is June 30th. It is a Sunday. It is about noon. It is kind of misty and raining where I am today. Now, I don't know if I'll be adding this clip onto a rather lengthy well video for the week, or if I'll make it its own video. So if it's in the middle of the video, then you get an extra introduction. Skip it. Okay, so you will know that I got some beautiful green apples, a whole case of them, at the well on Friday. And these are gorgeous. And I also have some apples that are not as gorgeous to look at. And I'm going to juice those, and those will be perfect for juicing. So I want to make apple pie filling, and I have everything to do it, so why not? Now, most apple pie filling calls for water bath canning, and I can water bath can, but my pot and my pressure cooker are only high enough to do pint size jars. And I want to make my pie filling in quarts. So I took some time this morning and I found a recipe that will do that I can cook it in my pressure canner and make it in quart size instead of pints. So I believe we are going to make 3 quarts of apple pie filling. And the first thing that it's calling for is 12 cups of apples, which should be about 18 green apples. So I'm going to sit down, watch TV, and peel and slice 18 of these apples. We're going to make a batch and see what I think. Now, I have this barely dented my case. Probably I used maybe 1/4 or 1/5 of the apples. So I might do a second batch today. Now, if this is part of the big well video, you can see that I've been working on the carrots. I went ahead and gave my second bag of carrots to our friend again this morning. I have plenty of carrots. I'm kind of exhausted from carrots. I still have more carrots to juice, and I don't even know what the count of that is. I don't know if I'll be able to put that in either one of the videos, but right now as we speak, I have about, I'd say 8 bags of carrots that are cleaned, chopped, or cut in the refrigerator, and 3 gallon size carrot juices in the freezer. Now the gallon size doesn't hold a gallon. It holds a half a gallon because I like them to lay flat, and that's fine. But I want to make apple pie filling. I want to do something fun today. I also need to fold clothes. How many times have I been saying that? The same 2 loads of clothes are on the end of my bed. They've been there for 4 days, people. Because I would rather garden and cook and can than fold laundry. Okay, let me get this done. Okay, you've seen it. This is my 18 apples. And I'll bring you back when we're ready to start the recipe, and I will put the website of where I got the recipe down. I won't be putting it in the notes because I don't have that kind of time. Plus, I don't want to be responsible for trying to put in a perfect recipe for you. You guys all know how to Google, you know how to find a recipe, but I'll put where I got this recipe, and then if you want to make it, you can Google it, and it'll be right there for you. All right, I need a Coke. I have a couple cans of that Coca-Cola one that's sugar-free or whatever. It is so good. It is so good. I can't even taste the difference between that and real Coke. Okay, I'm wearing some additional clothes for you, but you can see that I still have this on. I need to take a shower. I need to clean my bathroom. I need to do laundry. I need to fold clothes. But what am I going to do? I'm going to make pie filling because it's fun. All right, I'll see you guys when I'm done. Okay, I am back. I have peeled and sliced my apples. It took a little less than an hour, which was fine. I sat and watched TV. Here is what it looks like. I just filled the jars to make sure that I would have enough apples. And then, of course, this is the additional apples. This will cook down significantly, but I think I can get 4 quarts instead of 3. At least I'm hoping. So we will see. I will, however, be following the directions exactly. I will put the link to the recipe in the somewhere on this clip. Okay? Okay, because I never remembered to turn on the actual video on this camera, I have my apples in a container. I added a half a cup of lemon juice. Now this recipe is a little bit strange to me, and it's the only one I could find using a pressure canning method, so we're going to follow it like it says. I don't know. Instead of cooking your apples on the stove like you do with most water bath canning recipes, you cook the syrupy gel and then you add it to your jars with the raw apples in the jar. Now, I don't know how I'm going to get this many apples into 3 or 4 quarts of jars. We will see. I will give you my honest opinion of this recipe when I am done making it. Okay, so I guess I need to clean my jars first. All right, we put in a half a cup of sugar, 3 3/4 cup of water. I'm not sure where the camera died at. Here are the additional 2 cups of sugar. There's 1. And here is 2. So that's good. The spices call for 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. And I'm not going to measure. I like a lot of cinnamon, so I'm putting in that much. It calls for a half a teaspoon of nutmeg. That's about a half a teaspoon. And then it calls for ginger, but I don't want to put ginger in my pie filling. I'm going to put a pinch of cloves. Maybe 2 little pinches. And then I'm going to add some vanilla. None of that should change the flavor or the safety of the pie filling. And then we need to add, I believe, a half a cup of lemon. There's the vanilla and a half a cup of lemon. All right, I want to taste that before I add the Sure Gel and see what I think about the flavor of the pie filling. All right, let's see what I think. Right here. I'm going to add more cinnamon. I'm going to add double. Well, not double. I'm going to add what I added before. I'm going to add a pinch of nutmeg. And I'm going to add another little pinch of cloves. So to me, this syrup was not flavorful at all. All I could taste was the lemon. Let's bring you back down. Okay, let's see what we think. I still need to add the clear gel. I have not forgotten. Here's my spoon. Just giving it a nice wipe. Again, it is only my husband and my grandmother, and they do not care if I eat from the spoon and put it back in the food. And even if they did, I would probably do it anyway because it's like a 60-year habit. Okay, let's try this. Okay, that's much better. All right, so let's go ahead and add the clear gel. This is what clear gel looks like. And I had to order mine online. I've never seen it in grocery stores. You might have it in your area in grocery stores. I think it's $12 or $13 a bag, and I've had this bag for almost a year. So it's calling for 3/4 of a cup. So let's go ahead and do that. Put a little bit more in there. Okay, I would call that 3/4 of a cup. That is now in there. And I'm just going to set this on my stove. I'm not ready to heat it up yet. I want to make sure I have a clean work surface. I want to make sure everything is sterilized and ready to go. And then I will deal with the syrup so that when it comes time to can, I'm good to go. This is what it looks like prior to being heated up. So I'm just going to set this on the stove, and it can just wait for me until I'm ready to deal with it. I want to make sure my workspace is clean, and then we'll go from there. So I'll be back to you guys. All right, this is my concern about this recipe. It called for 12 cups of sliced apples, which should be about 18 actual apples. That's what the recipe said. So I peeled and sliced 18 apples. I don't cook the apples for this recipe, okay? Here are my 3 jars. 1, 2, and 3 packed. And I still have this many apples left. So to me, the recipe is flawed. We'll see. I have a 4th jar over here. And I'm going to go ahead and pull that jar out and just let it sit nicely with the hot water in it until I'm ready. I can turn that off. And I'm going to go ahead and cook the syrup. I'm assuming it's enough syrup for the 3 jars. And if so, I got a bunch of apples that I have peeled and quartered, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them. So right now, and I certainly reserve the right to change my mind about this recipe, but right now, just preparing it, I don't love it. So I'll give you my honest opinion when I'm done. I might revise. I might say I love it. I will still put the recipe down for you, but so far I don't love it. No, I do not. Okay, let's cook it on the stove. I'm not going to show you that part because my counter is full and I'm going to do it on the stove. The filling is been cooked. It is very thick. So now I am concerned about how I'm going to get it to the bottom of the jars without a bunch of air bubbles. Don't love it, you guys. And I have made apple pie filling before. There we go. This I don't love. Okay, you can see that it is really thick, right? Okay, let's just see how it does. Okay, I can tell you right now that I am not going to do this. This is not going to work for me. So the first thing we're going to do, good God, what a mess. We're going to take the apples out. Yeah, lots of F word flying around here. This is not a recipe that I will ever do again. Let me get these apples in a bowl and add the filling like you're supposed to, and then fill the cans. Honest to God. Seriously, do not make this recipe unless you have the patience of a saint. All right, here we go. You can see my apples. I'm going to add the filling. Seriously. I don't even know. Okay. Let me go wash this jar. Okay, let's see what this does. There is my funnel. Here is my apple pie filling. Let's see if we can make this work. I do want to pack it in, and I want to get out the air bubbles as I can. I have somewhere lost my little air bubbler thing, so I'm kind of limited, but there it is. And it has a 1-inch headspace. So let me go ahead and get this cleaned off. Okay, honestly, you guys, this one is a little bit frustrating for me. So I am going to fill these jars off camera. I will show you the finished project before I stick it in the canner. Okay, and I'm also going to add some additional apples to this and try to fill up my 4th jar. Maybe we can be happy when we're done that we have 4 quarts instead of 3. All right, I'll be... I want to just demonstrate this part for you because I think it's very important. So here is my 1 can of apple pie filling. I have gotten out as many of the air bubbles as I can. I still want to do this part for you. Dip it in vinegar and do your rim. Super important with a sticky item. And she does not specify how much headspace in her recipe. She says don't fill it above the fill line. I'm assuming that that is going to be the 1-inch mark. Now I'm having to assume a lot on this recipe, and I can't say that I love it, but we'll see. Okay, now fingertip tight, and we're going to put this back into the canner. I'm going to go ahead and empty this hot water in here so that I have the right amount of water to pressure can. Okay, we're good. All right, 1 jar, people. I'll be back. Okay, so I went ahead and added the rest of my apples to this filling, and you can see that once you mix it up, there is plenty of filling. It's even pooling at the bottom. So there's no reason why this recipe would not make 4 quarts. So I'm going to bring you back when I finish the 4th quart and I get ready to set the pressure cooker. The filling, it does taste good to me, but it tastes good to me because I doubled the spices and left out the ginger. You'll have to decide for yourselves. Yeah, it's good. All right, let me get this done. All right, I am done swearing. I think in the end it was probably okay. This is all the apples I had left after I did 4 quarts. So I'm just going to feed that to the chickens. I'm going to set it out of my way. Over here. This is my 4th quart. And though the recipe did say that it makes 3 quarts for 18 apples, I got 4 quarts. And that actually makes me happier. I'm going to go ahead and bring you down for this. The filling is very sticky, so I want to really make sure that I have nothing sticky around the rim of this jar. I also don't want anything sticky on the jar. So on all the jars, I just took a little tissue like this, paper towel, and I wiped the jar down. And then when I got to this point, I went ahead and sealed it. So here's my lid, and these were boiled in hot water, and they are good to go. Fingertip tight. Let's go ahead and put it in the canner. And that gives me 4 quarts of apple pie filling, with a little bit of swearing and a little bit of having to rework a recipe as written. Now, when you are an experienced canner, you can do that, but you must understand that when you alter a USDA recipe, you take all the risk on yourself about whether what you're doing maintains the safety of your canning. Now, in this instance, instead of having 3 quarts of finished product, I had 4 quarts of finished product. I'm not at all worried about that. I added twice the amount of spices. I am not worried about that. And I added some vanilla, and I am not worried about that. Now, I did sample here. I've got some right here on my funnel, the filling. The filling tastes delicious. Of course, I added to it. So I'm going to go ahead and can this. It's going to pressure canner at my altitude for 8 minutes, and then the canner will cool, and that will be done. I have a chicken carcass in my refrigerator from Costco that still has almost a whole half a breast on it. I'm going to take that meat off and add it to some salad today, and then I'm going to go ahead and can chicken stock. Now, this made a terrific mess. I had a really hard time getting the air bubbles out. We'll see if I got enough to get a good seal. I will see you when this comes out of the canner. All right. My apples are still canning in the pressure canner. They just reached the part where they do their 8-minute countdown now, so that's good. This is a chicken salad that I made for my husband. I cut that chicken off of the rotisserie bird, and I just tossed it in the freezer. I may or may not be able to make chicken stock today. I really have a lot of things to do. So you can see lettuce. Now, this has some of that Tom Thumb lettuce from my garden. It's got carrots, tomatoes, cheese, ranch dressing, and Addie's and mine has a few pistachios on it. Grandma's does not. All right, you guys, I'm going to sit down and eat my salad, and then I'm going to plot the next thing, which is probably fold clothes. Okay, everybody, it is 10 o'clock at night, and I am just getting back to this pie filling, and I have to say that honestly, I have mixed reviews. So, I personally will not make that recipe again. Now, I'm not satisfied with the results. I did not like the way the recipe went together, but that is only my opinion. There may be people out there who make that recipe and absolutely love it. So all I'm doing is giving you my opinion. Now, I'm going to buy a stock pot that is big enough for me to water bath quart jars, and then I'm going to make a different pie filling. So when I pulled my cans out of the canner, immediately one can had bubbled over. The lid was not sealed. It was a disaster. And because I had a ton of things that I needed to do today, I was not prepared to clean it up, try to save it, you know, whatever. I took the lid off and I put it in the chicken scrap bowl. You know what? Happens, right? It happens. So normally if I have something that doesn't seal, I put it in the refrigerator and we use it the next day. So I have in front of me, I just came to check them, so this is in real time. I have 2 cans that I think are sealed okay, but they're very, very sticky. So I need to stick them in hot water, wash them really good, and then check their seal. So that's 2 jars. Now, while I was checking the seal, son of a biscuit. Son of a biscuit, people. I'm going to say it again. Son of a biscuit. So 2 out of 4 jars were a fail. And I haven't had a canning fail for quite a long time, so I am disappointed in the outcome of my apple pie filling. I am, however, going to pop this in the refrigerator, and tomorrow we might eat it over pancakes, or I might make it a little side dish out of it. Grandma can eat it on the side. We'll deal with it tomorrow. Tonight, this is why it's 10 o'clock and I'm just getting back to you. My husband and I cleaned my house pretty spotless because my cousin is coming. And she's going to spend the day and the night and a little bit of the next morning. And she and I are going to can for the next day or 2. Now, I don't know if she will be comfortable being on video. So you may or may not see her. Okay, I'm going to close this video. It's long. It's long. So you guys have a great evening. I will see you probably next week. If I can, I might just do a canning of what Laura and I did, and then I'll show everything that I canned in June. So those are upcoming videos. And then I most likely will go to the well again on Friday. I will not be going to any food banks this week, and probably not next week, because your girl has canned stuff and has I have enough of everything. Okay, so I want you to know that I go to the food bank when I need to go, and when I feel like I can do meals for a week with everything that I have, I don't go. I do go to the well though. That is not a food bank. All right. You guys are great. Amanda, if you're watching this, my heart is thinking about you and your dog. Okay? All right. Whatever's going on with you, I hope that it all turns out well. I do want to know what happened with your dog. And again, my heart is with you. All right, you guys, you're the best. Have a good night. Ta-ta.